Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Australia Season 10, Episode 23. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. If you want to show me some extra support, you can follow me on my other platforms, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my second YouTube channel. Okay, so the last episode ended with Evelyn and Melinda wanting to snoop on the men's conversations. Now, what they heard was Harrison being an instigator.
I want to see you in a happy, healthy relationship, and what you're describing to me doesn't sound like that. It just seems really fake.
That's bullshit. I came into this to find somebody that I can spend the rest of my life with, and I'm starting to think this is my person.
So Harrison called Melinda and Leighton's relationship toxic. I don't think he's completely off the mark when you think about the fact that it seems like they constantly sugarcoat the issues that they have and they gloss over the arguments instead of resolving their conflicts. That is toxic, because at some point the dirt under the rug is only going to get so high until somebody trips over it. You know what I mean? Somebody is going to erupt at some point, and who's to say if it's going to be salvageable after that? So it is kind of toxic, but then here's the problem with these women. If you want to eavesdrop on some people, you miss the whole story, because if they would have stayed, they would have heard Leighton defending their relationship, and even the other men in the group defending their relationship. Reason why that's important is because later Melinda wants Leighton to defend their relationship when he already has. Now Melinda takes her newfound information over to Bronte and is saying, well, is this how you feel too? And Bronte is obviously annoyed.
Bronte, because Harrison feels this way, I feel like you feel this way. I'm being constantly made to feel like my brain is molded to Harrison's. I can't comprehend it. I've literally just got completely blindsided and completely ambushed again.
Regardless of how I feel about Bronte, it would really piss me off if people believe that I am so malleable that I'm incapable of thinking for myself. That this person that I've met at the same time that you met your person has infiltrated my mind so much that I'm unable to form my own thoughts. Like, excuse me? I'm a grown woman. I have my own accolades, my own successes. Like, I'm a self-made person. I didn't need this person to make me who I am. And so our thoughts are not tethered together. Like, I would be really annoyed as well. But then, because it's Bronte, that's where I'm like, but Bronte says that's kind of what's happening. Like, that's kind of what's happening. At the beginning of the season, she was a little bit more headstrong against Harrison. She could pinpoint when he was gaslighting her or when he was being untruthful. But as the season has gone on, she just believes as he denies. And I'm like, girl, you kind of are being manipulated. Taylor and Hugo are obviously not getting along. But we learned that Miss Taylor has her eyes on another husband.
Taylor hasn't wanted to talk to me on this entire retreat. She's completely opted out.
How do you feel about Hugo right now?
Well,
She's in the camp, 100%.
Now, this is where I'm like, Taylor is so full of it. Taylor is so full of it. This woman says she's not attracted to Hugo because he doesn't have that manly, tradey guy kind of look. But I'm sorry. If we're comparing Cam and Hugo to the archetype that Taylor alleges she's attracted to, unless I'm seeing things, doesn't Hugo match that aesthetic more than Cam? I don't know. Maybe I have a different picture in my head. I'm thinking she likes more of like a Duncan kind of look. But then again, I think she did put Cam on top of her photo ranking, didn't she? I think she did. But based off of like the archetype, the physical characteristics, I do think Harrison, child. I do think that Hugo fits the bill more than Cameron does. So I'm looking at her like, girl, stop making up excuses. Just say you don't like this man and let's end this relationship. Alyssa is getting on my last nerve because she is still frustrated with Duncan because he's not showing her affection.
I need a lot from Duncan, and I need to be checked in on all the time.
I talked about all these wonderful things that I like about her, and she just said,
I want to be in the room by myself.
He's like, Alyssa, I do care about you. And I want to be in this with you to get to know each other better.
Well, Alyssa, the general public, myself included, would have no issue with you leaving this man. Go ahead, girl. He's not supplying your needs. So sorry to hear it. I think you should divorce him. I think you should. I think you should leave him. You deserve so much better, sis. You deserve somebody who gives you the world and more. And I don't think Duncan is that guy. Clearly, he ignores you. Clearly, he doesn't give you affection. How dare you put up with something like this? He's clearly such a subpar man, girl. You should leave him immediately and slide him my number on your way out. No, but for real, Alyssa's really annoying me because she frames her conversations with Duncan as if he is cold, distant, and passive aggressive. And I'm like, the words that she's relaying are the words that were said, but the connotation are not the same. Like, she's putting a negative connotation behind his words, and that's not true. She's removed the context. She's removed the fact that he's expressing these things in a caring manner, and she's making it seem like he's just being blunt and discarding her. And I'm just like, girl, what? She asks for apologies. He apologizes. He is being condescending. She asks for affirmation. He affirms her. She thinks he's just trying to like put a band-aid on the situation. I'm just like, again, I say you deserve better, sis. Bronte tells Melinda that Harrison said that Leighton said that his relationship is not good.
Leighton literally said he's unhappy. He literally said he is not happy and he feels like his relationship is toxic.
Harrison's view is that it's a complete facade.
But if the issue for Mel is that I'm not supporting or having her back, that's definitely not what happened at boys' night. That didn't happen. I didn't say those words. And there's multiple other boys there that will say the same thing.
At the very least, I'm glad that Melinda understands the problem. The focal point of the issues in this whole situation is Harrison. But it does annoy me at the fact that she wants Leighton to defend the relationship when that's what he already did. There's no need for him to come to y'all's defense if he nipped Harrison's words in the bud when they were said without hesitation. He was like, you might think it's toxic, but it's not toxic. It is real. We work through our issues, A, B, C, and D. All the other husbands co-sign on believing their connection and believing that there is a potential for them on the outside. So I'm just like, girl, what are we mad about for real? I think the frustration is the fact that I'm saying we have an enemy, and why aren't you declaring this person as our common enemy? But then I'm just like, again, he already supported you. He already denounced Harrison's words. So like, what are we really arguing about here? Hugo has had enough, and he decides to let out his frustrations on Taylor.
What is up with the messaging the boyfriend and him sexting you?
The ex-boyfriend, and there was no sexting. You become so fragile over nothing. You really do.
He's allowed to be fragile.
I knew that he was going to put on this sad act again. I just can't be doing this.
Give me a cuddle.
Now, Hugo, I typically side with you, but I'm like, sir, why would you address this in front of everybody? Why would you do that? Because at this point, it looks like you're trying to embarrass her, and two wrongs don't make a right, you know? So I wish he would have addressed this on his own, but then he does know that in private, she presents as a different person in public. In public, she likes to think that nothing is wrong. She's doing everything she can as a wife. Hugo is the liar when in fact he is telling the truth. But then I'm also like, you shouldn't have handled it in this way, because of course she's going to be defensive. She feels like her back is against the wall. And what did you want to come out of this? It wasn't going to be an honest conversation. It wasn't going to be a conversation to resolve your issues. So yeah, wrong meets wrong. Nobody in the situation is right. And I'm ready for them to just call it. Leighton has decided to get on side with Melinda, and he, with Melinda, decide to call out Bronte and Harrison in front of the group.
Are you saying something behind my back? Are you saying the right thing?
Yeah, did you not say that things aren't okay?
I wish you didn't say that. I've got your back.
I know. It's so like Bronte feels she's standing up for her man like it's this loyal thing. No.
Voila dee da. What a coincidence, Harrison, that you do not recall. All of a sudden, you don't remember what you said to your wife? You sounded very clear when you said it. And then this man is now going to make Bronte believe as if she misunderstood or misinterpreted, well, that's the same thing, what Harrison said to her. And now she is apologizing on his behalf. You see why we can't really ride with you, Bronte? Because you are being manipulated. Again, if we're assuming that this relationship is real, you are being manipulated. And a lot of the women said that at the hens night, Bronte had admitted to being in relationships prior to, where she was very naive and allowed men to walk over her or allowed men to form her thoughts and opinions, whereas she's not going to stand for that anymore. And here she is standing for it again. So obviously feeling like their back is against the wall, Harrison and Bronte are like, okay, hold on. Who else in this room feels like our relationship isn't real?
I'm sorry, but everyone...
I wouldn't be with somebody who targets people on purpose. Does everyone think my relationship is fake with Harrison? Like, literally speak right now.
In my mind, I was like, I kind of think that.
Everybody. It's everybody. It's everybody. Everybody, even us. Nobody believes it. Not even your best friend. I don't even know why you weren't listening to your best friend, because your best friend was like, this man is trouble, child. So yeah, I'm just like, everything about Harrison is just so grimy, so slimy. And if Bronte actually believes the things that he says, and it's not this whole 5 minutes of fame or trying to see out the process, then my heart breaks for her. It does. Claire was sharing before that Bronte has said she doesn't see a future on the outside. And that's where I think like, okay, so maybe this is probably just for the show. But if it's not for the show, it's really disheartening to see a woman just clearly being gaslit and her falling for it every single time. It looks like the dinner party is gonna go up in flames yet again. It's always an explosive dinner party. And I don't know who's showing up, but I'm ready for it. As always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.